Hello, I'm Michael Spyres, and I'm singing the role of Manrico in Il Trovatore. This role is one of those kind of dream roles that every tenor wants to do once in their life, but to be able to do it with this cast and with Patrick Summers as the true bel cantist conductor that he is, it's a dream come true for me to be here. This is my third time here at the Opera House, but my first time actually getting to do this role in this house for the debut of the season. And I know it's going to be a spectacular success just because of the team that's assembled and the conversation that we've all had already and what Stephen has prepared us for. And we did something very rare, which is to sit down with the director and all of us around a table for our very first reading, kind of like you do in film. You sit there and have a table reading, but it was fantastic because we all got to share our ideas of the characters, but then within his idea, he started telling us how we could interpret it differently. And to us, I think, and to me specifically, it was very mind-opening because normally when you see this piece portrayed on stage, it can be a bit static and a bit boring, a bit like chess pieces moving around. But how Stephen has conceived the entire thing, it all makes absolute sense that we are this kind of dysfunctional family, but it has all of the archetypes that one needs for a truly great drama. It just so happens that it's all psychological manipulation between my mother, Azucena, and the manipulation of what love and honor is in society. And that's the most interesting thing for me, is that you have to really go into depth and understand other people's characters in order to understand your character, because yes, you can take it at face value and say, okay, Manrico is just the lover and he does this and he fights for love, but that's only in relation to what he finds out later, that he's actually conflicted because his brother is who he's fighting against, and he has no idea, and they're fighting for the same woman and the same love. One of the biggest successes that I've had is becoming this kind of romantic, basically brigand who fights for love over everything else, and he doesn't care if anyone gets in the way. He's gonna go for love, and that to me is what this character is all about. And I find it fascinating because he's very much like Don Jose in Carmen. He's the leader of the rebellion and constantly fighting against the tyrannical, a bit like the Robin Hood kind of nature that we all love and that's inside of all of us. So it's really fun to bring that out in the character, because he is for justice, even though he's doing things a little bit under the table. So I think it's a fun character. As a baritenor, many people don't really recognize that as a category, and I'm trying to bring it back, but specifically during this time, it was a very well-known vocal category, because Rossini, before Verdi, who Verdi really, really looked up to, he modeled his vocal writing after Rossini's style, which was very much a style within Rossini, baritenor. And you had to have that depth, the emotional depth of most of the baritone characters, but also the power and the panache of a tenor to be able to get up there in those high notes, which sometimes I still have problems with. But to be honest, it's a very interesting thing to have a darker voice that can actually have flexibility. And it took me years to marry the two voices that I have within inside my throat. And for this role specifically, it's very interesting because I try to keep it light and in the bel canto tradition, but I also have that baritonal darkness, and it allows me to play and really to have a color palette of the voice that a lot of people don't really go into, simply because I'm very well versed in bel canto. I did most of my career within the bel canto. I've probably done 20 bel canto operas, and to be able to come to this, one of the last bel cantist operas that people know of, I can really show the entire color palette from what came from before and to what would be in the future. And so that's what I'm trying to do with this entire role. It's a very long process because you have many ideas, but if if you're open and you're willing to evolve your idea of the character, the entire world opens up, truly. And in the last week and a half in rehearsals, it's been incredible because we all have shifted our characters every single day and made this rich experience. And then when we jump in and do the 3 or 5 minutes, there's this entire world that people are seeing already, whereas before we'd be singing pretty and standing in place. But he really, really has done such a great job, and all of our colleagues are very willing to change their character based on the information that we're receiving from each other. And so that's why it's absolutely fantastic, really, with this cast.